everyone, and welcome to another episode of Your Career Success. Today's episode is a little bit different. I've got an inspiring career story for you. So I'm going to have a coffee career chat with Pardeep Lall, who I've known for many years. We used to work together, about 14, 15 years ago now, I think it was, Pardeep.
I'd say so.
So we haven't caught up in all that time. So selfishly for me, I'm really excited to speak to you anyway, just to hear how you're doing, find out all about you, the journey you've been on, and also it's just going to be great to share that with the viewers as well. So welcome to the show, and thank you so much for joining me. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Suzi. So I'm Pardeep Lall. I'm a senior project manager. I work at a consulting firm called Accenture. I recently moved to Canada from the UK. It's been 2.5 years now since we moved. I'm married with two teenage daughters. Been married for 21 years. So yeah, that's me.
Amazing. Thank you so much for doing this. So tell me a little bit. I'm going to go through some questions and we'll just see how the conversation flows. But tell me a little bit about your current role. So you're a project manager for Accenture. Tell me about your current role and your chosen career path, and what inspired you to go down the route you took with it.
So as a project manager, which I've been doing for about 15 years now, I've always wanted to work in delivery, in terms of delivering value, delivering benefits for organizations. What inspired me really was the fact that you could work on a single endeavor, complete that, then move on to something new, completely different, with a different bunch of people, different clients, different teams, different stakeholders, for a completely different reason. It's the variety really that I love about project management. You can do so many different things in different sectors. So that's what I really wanted in terms of a career for myself. I didn't really want to do a job or a role that was monotonous and doing the same thing day in, day out. And I just love the variety and the ability to be able to learn, go into different sectors, different industries, work with different clients. It's just that there's just so much out there that you can do in this career. So that's what inspired me.
Amazing. You know, I'm a massive advocate for project and program management. It's my whole background as well. It's where we met, working together in project and program management, and I agree with everything you've said. It's an incredible career path to take. The variety, it's really fulfilling, isn't it? You feel like you're really delivering impact for the business, and it's a great team environment as well, working with everyone across all different skill sets within the team. So yes, I love project management, absolutely love it. Amazing. So let's talk a little bit around your career journey and the path that you've taken. So are there any highs and lows? I mean, talk to me about where you started, like when you first joined project management, the journey you've gone on, and any highs and lows that jump out over like the period of your career so far.
So after coming out of university, I originally moved into operational work, working for an organization. And I didn't really know at that point that I wanted to do project management at that really early stage and in my younger days, I would say. But then I guess as I carried on in operational work, I kind of thought to myself, this isn't really for me, doing the same thing day in, day out. I need something that's flexible, that's different, that's always going to change. And that's got challenges as well that I can go into and work through and have successful outcomes. And so from there, it made me realize that I need to move into an environment that would give me that flexibility and give me those different options. So project management really felt like the career path to take in order to do that and achieve those types of goals. So in terms of how did I get there, I did go on a bit of a journey, actually. It's not easy to just move directly into a role without having prior experience or knowledge of that area either, or even not knowing people that you could talk to and use for help and advice. So I kind of took a sideways step first of all, and I went into a PMO role, which is Project Management Office, and that's more of a supporting role where that area supports projects. They don't deliver them, but they support them, and they help projects to succeed in that way. So I decided to do that as a stepping stone to help me move into the world of delivery, so that I could learn about projects. How do they work? Who's involved? How do you start a project, and then how do you end a project? The methodology, the governance of projects, all of that. It was a great opportunity in the Project Management Office for me to learn all of that. Not only learn all of that, but also get to know the people in the delivery space. And that's what really, really helped me, because I built those contacts and those relationships with other project managers who I could then use for support and guidance, and give me opportunities where I could, I guess this is the pieces where I looked at my personal development and how am I really going to get there? What do I need to do? And you have to look after yourself really, and find ways to achieve what you want to achieve on a career path. So I was approaching my fellow, my colleagues in the delivery space, to go and work with them and help them out on their projects while I'm still doing my PMO role, so that I could get that experience. So for me, I had in my mind that I have to get practical experience. In order to go into this career path, I need the practical experience. I can go and get the qualifications and study, and that's all fine, but you have to have the practical experience to go along with the qualifications. So that was my thinking, that let me go and do that. And that really helped me, because I managed to get experience of delivering projects while still in my support role, support the projects, build up the networks, get to know people, and then really put myself forward when an opportunity did come up for a role. I was well placed and able to say that I've explained how I've got that practical experience, and then I was able to successfully move into an actual delivery role that way. So that was kind of my, how did I get there? What did I do? Who did I go and speak to? And then I also had a mentor that helped me along the way and gave me some pointers, some advice, and someone that's there to ask questions if I'm not sure about something. So that's a really good tip as well, in terms of how to move forward into a career that you want to move into. If you don't have that experience, then that's another way. So I guess from all of this, the two things I would say is get practical experience, and then look for a mentor that can help you and guide you, which leads on to building networks and building team contacts within the department or the area that you want to go into.
I think they're amazing tips, and I totally agree. Making the transition from PMO into project manager, it's such a natural flow of transition, and it's a great starting place, because like you say, you're getting to see the other side of project management. You get to see the governance, you get to see the good and the bad of different project managers, because every project manager operates in a very different way. It's the same with program managers. And if you go straight into a PM role, into a project manager role, and you haven't done that PMO, you don't really know if you're doing the right thing or not, because you don't get to see behind the scenes of what other project managers do. So I think I would recommend to anybody thinking about project management to go into a PMO role first, whether it's project assurance, project management office, and it's a great place to just get that core competency skill set that really sets you up to then step into project management. I know quite a few project managers who've done it that way, and they're really successful. So I do think that's a really good tip that you've shared there. And a big shout out to my old PMO team. If you're watching this, I've had some amazing PMO analysts work for me over the years. So massive shout out to Jason, Annabelle, Salim, and Anne, and many more. I'm trying to probably miss some, but yeah, they're the backbone of the projects, aren't they? They're just an incredible team to have, the support that they give. So I think they're great tips. Having a mentor as well, that's a really good tip. Do you think it matters? I mean, I'll give my opinion on this, but do you think it matters what level you're at in your career, or would you recommend a mentor at any stage, whether you're senior, early in career?
I think if you're clear on your goal and where you want to go, then having a mentor at any stage of your career would be beneficial, because you're clear on where you want to get to, and your mentor would be there to help you along the way to achieve your goal.
Totally agree. Exactly. I have exactly the same opinion. I think the other tip that I'd give to anyone watching, if you're looking to move into a specific role, see if you can get a sponsor in that area who can start opening the doors and introducing you to the different people within those teams. And then you can start building your network as well. Amazing. Okay, I'm just consulting my questions because I don't want to miss anything, and I don't want to go over things twice. So you've talked through the start of your journey. What are some of the positives that spring to mind over your journey so far?
So in terms of career progression for myself, I see that as a positive. I was able to move from from an operational role with no experience in project management into obviously the stepping stone as the PMO, then a project manager, and now a senior project manager. So I see that as a successful journey for myself. Also, in terms of the variety that I was talking about earlier that you can get with this career path, I've been exposed to different industries, different teams, both onshore and offshore, different methodologies in terms of how we deliver projects, and also leadership. Leadership's a big thing in project management as well, and building on leadership is really key. In terms of learning, and I'd say leadership and learning, both of those together, they are both lifelong journeys that they won't stop at any point. They're ongoing. So if you were to ask me, where are you looking to go in the future, I would say continue on my journey of leadership and continue on my journey of learning, in terms of learning in this space, expanding into keep expanding out into working with different industries, different clients, as well as learning, keeping up to date with what's happening out there in the world of technology, but in the world of business as well. What's the latest trends, what's going on right now? So keeping up to date with all of that is something that, again, it's ongoing, it doesn't ever stop, and it's good to continually keep up to date with it. And again, building the network, that's lifelong. And I'd say not just internally within your own organization, externally as well. And different ways that I've tried to do that externally is I'm part of my local PMI chapter. So I do volunteering. I'm the director of social media for that chapter. And then looking for any opportunity like that where you can continue to grow networks and people, I would say.
Amazing. I love mentoring other people as well. You know, early in career, I was starting out in project management. Do you do any of that? I bet you'd have so much to give. Do you do any mentoring for anyone else?
Currently, I don't do mentoring for anyone right now, but in the past, I have given advice to people that have come to me, mainly for specific scenarios. So people would say, I've got this scenario and this is happening, what would you do? So it's being there and giving advice as and when needed. I've been there for that, yes.
Awesome. Yeah, I think there's so much variety in project management. Every project's different, every industry's different. Nothing, no day is the same. One day you could be managing risks and issues on a project, the next you could be having a steadier day, but it's unpredictable. I love that side of it. Okay, fantastic. Are there any, what would you say the most challenging part of the role is that you've found over the years?
In terms of challenges, you can get many different challenges across projects, and they're ongoing. I wouldn't say there was one challenging thing, but there's so many different challenges you could come across. For example, people underperforming on your team. You may lose team members, and you need to quickly get replacements. The whole objective of your project changes. A risk turns into an issue. That these are ongoing things, and I'd say they're like the lifeblood of project management. So I wouldn't say there was one specific thing. There could be many different things that could come about. And from my perspective, I think I'm quite calm. I'm able to think through when I come across challenges, and I'm able to think through them in a logical way. Of how to tackle them, and also use the experts for help and advice. If it's in a specific area of technology, use your expert in that area of technology to help you. And then another big thing when coming across challenges and dealing with them, communicate, making sure people are, or the people that need to be aware are aware and kept up to date with how you're dealing with those challenges.
I think they're great tips. Really great. It's definitely a challenging role. It's not an easy career path to pick, being a project manager, but it is very rewarding. Like you said, for all the reasons that you've said, I loved it when I was a project manager. I absolutely loved it.
It's just having you're
really great.
You're accountable for success, for an organization's success. You're accountable for that. So that's just really fulfilling and rewarding, definitely.
It is. I enjoy the team side, like you say, fostering that team environment and bringing the team together to a common goal it's really exciting. It's really impactful. Fantastic. All right. Switching gears a little bit then. So you've recently relocated. You mentioned earlier you recently relocated from the UK to Canada. How have you found that move, and what's been the hardest versus the most rewarding part of that for you?
So the hardest part was leaving all our families on both sides, my husband's and my family, behind, and saying bye to them. And we've not seen them. I haven't seen my family since I've been here 2.5 years. But we are planning a visit next year, so that's really good. I'm excited for that. The hardest part is about the family, really. The most rewarding part for myself, it's really that my two teenage daughters have been able to adapt to school life and just life in general in a different country and a way of living, because that's a little bit worrying when you have children, especially at that age, teenagers, that what if they don't like it, and what if they don't want to stay here anymore. But it's quite rewarding that they've been able to adapt to it, and they're fine, and they're settled in really well now. So yes, happy about that.
Yeah, it's a brave move moving that far, but I think the lifestyle change and it's amazing. In terms of the working environment then, one thing I'm interested in is what's it like working in corporate in the UK versus Canada? Are they exactly the same? Is it different? How have you found that?
I wouldn't say it's very different from working in the UK, probably just because of the industry of project management. It's a global way of working. You have certifications that are recognized globally. So I wouldn't say it's that much different. The main difference that I found working in Canada versus the UK was that in Canada, there's 5 different time zones. And I have people on my project teams working all over Canada. So it's just making sure that when you have your team meetings and calls, that you accommodate all those different time zones of all the people you're working with. Whereas in the UK, everybody's on the same time zone. So that's the main difference for me. Apart from that, it's generally the same, I would say.
You've answered one of my follow-on questions, which was, is the skill, are the expectations around the skill set and the competencies and the qualifications, does that translate to both places, or are they different? Like, it's in the UK, it's Prince 2, managing successful programs, or some of the agile certifications like Scrum. Is it the same in Canada? Are they the same ones?
I would say they're mostly the same, but on top of that, the PMI qualification is the most sought after over here and in the US as well. I would say in the US and in Canada, it's more recognized because it's a global certification. So when I decided that we wanted to move to Canada, I actually took the PMI certification back in the UK and made sure that I was qualified in advance of coming here, so that it would put me in a good position when applying for roles.
Great. That's good. They're good tips. Thank you. So I like these next questions. So, do you feel like you are living a life of your design, feeling fulfilled and on purpose? And would you change anything?
I love my career. I love my role. I love the variety that it brings. I wouldn't change it now. I'd continue in what I'm doing, just looking for, in terms of what would I want to do in the future in this area, I'd look for working on more strategic initiatives, bigger initiatives, maybe one day doing work that affects the is effective on a global scale. So that going that level, really, that's the type of things that I would look to do. But in terms of the career area, this is definitely the area that I'd stay in.
Well, I have to say, you've inspired me. I'm feeling like I want to move back into project management after this conversation. It's strange because I've not done it for a long time. It's like I've not been a project manager for about 15 years, but I really miss it. I love it. I love like being knee deep in the delivery and really driving the outcomes. It's a super exciting role. It really is. I loved it. Absolutely loved it when I did it as well. So I can totally understand why you enjoy it. Okay, we're on the final questions. So this is a good one as well. If you were to call out 3 things that have helped you in your career so far, what would they be?
Okay, so the first one would be get practical experience, like I talked about, definitely needed for going into a career path where you don't have that prior experience. The second one would be having a mentor to help and guide you through your journey. If you're clear on your goal, then your mentor will be able to help you to achieve what you want to achieve. And the third one is about the strong networks, both internally and externally, as an ongoing thing, making sure that you grow it and continue to grow your network. That will help you in your career too.
I think they're amazing tips as well. Yeah, I totally agree with all of those. Really great. Thank you. Final question, and I'm gutted that this is coming to an end because I've loved speaking with you. So, final question: if you could go back and talk to your younger self and give them a pointer, like if you were to go back to like your early to mid 20s and give the most impactful advice to your younger self, what would it be?
So I would say to myself, don't constrain yourself into looking for career opportunities that would be a natural next step based on where you are. So I was in an operational role after university, and I naturally started to look at what's next from here, what's the next step upwards. And I wasn't very aware of everything else that's going on at a wider level. So the advice I would say is don't just look at the natural next step. Be flexible, be open. Look what else is going out there on a wider level across the organization, but also outside of that, your organization as well, in order to go into where you want to go to. Now, you don't have to go straight into the area that you'd like to go into, because for me, I didn't. You could do a sideways move. So consider that as well. Consider a sideways move that will help you get exposure that you need before you can then move onwards into the area that you want to be into.
I think that's really great advice. Fantastic advice. I think I'd say similar to my younger self, because I started off as a network and hardware support engineer, and I tell you what, I wasn't very good at it. If I'd have stayed in that career path, I wouldn't have done very well. I was not destined to be a hardware engineer. But no, really great. Oh, thank you, Pardeep. That your story, I've loved hearing it today. Super inspirational. Thank you for being so transparent and open with everything that you've shared. And hopefully it'll inspire people to go and get a career in the most fabulous career that is project management.
No problem, Suzi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. I hope everyone watching has enjoyed this episode, and I'm sure you'll agree with me that Pardeep has been super inspirational. So we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day, everyone.